to another video tutorial on ratios. In this lesson, we're going to be solving questions. We're also going to discuss about a ratio rule and which will further be explained with the help of an example. So let us begin with our today's lesson. The first question of this lesson is that a school has a student to teacher ratio of 25:2, which means that for every 25 students, the school has 2 teachers. The average annual salary for teachers is $42,000. If the school pays a total of $3,780,000 in annual salaries to its teachers, how many students does the school have? Now you see, we have been given information on the average and the total annual salaries of the teachers. So by applying the formula of average, we can get the total number of teachers, right? Now we all know that average or arithmetic mean is equal to the total sum divided by total number, right? And if we rearrange this formula to find out the total number of teachers, our formula would look something like total number of teachers is equal to the total sum divided by average, right? And which is equal to the total annual salaries divided by average annual salaries, and our total number of teachers would be 90. Now what next? You see, now the question has become very easy to solve. What we're going to do is we're going to simply put this information in ratio form. Now students over teachers is equal to 25/2, that is the ratio of student to teachers. And we do not have the information of students, but we do have the number of teachers with us. So students over 90 is equal to 25/2, and in this way we can easily find out the number of students, which is equal to 1125, right? Okay, let's move on to another question. This question says that a beaker was filled with a mixture of 40 liters of water and a liquid chemical in the ratio of 3 to 5 respectively. If 2% of the initial quantity of water and 5% of the initial quantity of liquid chemical is evaporated each day during a 10-day period, what percent of the original amount of mixture evaporated during this period? Now for this question, we have to do 2 things. First, we need to apply the portioning into ratios technique, and then we have to find out the percentages of water and liquid chemical evaporated, right, during a 10-day period. So I've done some rough work on the right side of the slide. So portioning into ratios is simply adding up the ratios. Here we have 3x plus 5x, which is equal to 8x. So 8x is equal to 40 liters of water. So 8x is equal to 40, and x would be equal to 5. So water, since water is 3x, so 3 into 5 is going to give us 15 liters of water, and liquid chemical is 5x, so 5 into 5 is 25, that is 25 liters of liquid chemical in the mixture. Now 2% of initial quantity of water means 2 by 100 into 15, right, which is equal to 0.3. And because the evaporation is consistent, so we're going to multiply 0.3 with 10 to get 3, that is water evaporated each day for 10 days, right? And 5% of initial quantity of liquid chemical is 5/125, which is going to give us 1.25. And for 10 days, the liquid chemical evaporated would be 1.25 into 10 is equal to 12.5. So total amount of mixture that is evaporated is equal to 12.5 plus 3, which is equal to 15.5. Now the question says that what percent of the original amount of mixture evaporated during this period. So what we're going to do is we're going to simply write down, we're simply going to convert this into a statement that is 15.5 is what percent of 40, and our answer is going to be 38.75%. So this is our answer, right? Now this slide is about a ratio rule, and it is essentially important for you to memorize it, because on test day you may come across a question based on this rule, and it says that for a ratio x over y, if x over y is between 0 and 1, and if k is a positive number, then x over y will be less than x plus k over y plus k. And same goes for x minus k over y minus k. And the value would remain between 0 and 1, right? And this has been further explained with the help of an example by putting values for x, y and k, right? And then the same rule also says that for a ratio x over y, if the ratio x over y is greater than 1, and if k is a positive number, then x plus k over y plus k would be between 1 and x over y, right? And the same goes for x minus k over y minus k, and this has been explained with the help of an example. If you put values, numeric values in place of x, y and k, you'll be able to understand this rule, right? Now this question is related to the rule of ratio, which we have already discussed in our last slide, and this question says that the ratio of the ages of A and B is 7 to 11. Which of the following can be the ratio of their ages after 5 years? So it's a multiple choice question. Now you see the given ratio of A and B is 7 over 1, which is less than 11 or around 0.63. Now, after 5 years, the ages of A and B will increase by 5. So, what we're going to do is we're going to take the help of ratio rule, which says that if the ratio x to y is less than 1, then x plus k over y plus k would be greater than x over y but less than 1, right? So the ratio of ages after 5 years will be greater than 7 over 11, right? Or they would be greater than 0.63. Now let us see what answer options we've been given. Our first option is 1 over 3, which is 0.33, and it is less than 0.63. Second option is 9 over 20, which is also less than 0.63. Third, fourth, all of the first 4 answer options are less than 0.63. But our fifth option, that is option E, is greater than 0.63. So this is our answer, right? The last question of this video says that a rabbit on a controlled diet is fed daily 300 grams of a mixture of 2 foods, that is food X and food Y. Food X contains 10% protein and Y contains 15% protein. If the rabbit's diet provides exactly 38 grams of protein daily, how many grams of food X are in the mixture? Now you see, we've already been provided with the total quantity of protein that the rabbit is fed with on daily basis, right? Which is 38 grams. Now you see, we can easily find out the percentage of protein in the total mixture by dividing 38 by 300 and multiplying it by 100. So we get 38 by 3. Let this percentage be in fraction form because it's easier to handle than decimal numbers. Now we've already been given the percentages of protein in food X and Y, that is 10 and 15 respectively. By using alligation, we're going to get the ratios of protein in X and Y, right? Which is 7 to 8. That is the ratio of protein in food X and Y is 7:8, right? Now, the quantity of food X in the mixture is going to be what? It is going to be 7, that is the ratio of food X divided by the total ratio, that is 15. 7 plus 8 is equal to 15. And we're going to multiply this by 300 to get 140 grams of food X in the mixture, right? Easy question. Just if you don't understand it once, revise it, watch the video again in order to understand the question well. Okay, so this concludes the 4th lesson on ratios. I hope you've understood the techniques, the concepts used in solving questions based on ratios. Now, if you've not understood anything, or if you're confused about anything, in applying a technique or in solving a question, just drop the question in the comment box and I'm going to reply to you as soon as possible. Stay positive, keep smiling, have a very nice day, and goodbye for now. Thank you.